Early on in this course, I did show you some cloud models, but in those cloud models, I didn't go into much detail because I was focused on the shared responsibility model. However, I'm going to go into more detail now with the different cloud service types. The first one is going to be infrastructure as a service. That's where you have more control by the client themselves. So infrastructure as a service, or IaaS, is going to be the most flexible because you have total control. It has the maximum amount of client control. The cloud, in this case Azure, provides the hardware, it provides the server, it provides the network, although you can decide what IP address the network is going to have, and it provides physical security. No one can get into that data center without being authorized. Now the client does the rest. Now if you're going to do what's called lift and shift from on-premises Active Directory into the Azure Cloud Entra ID, which is another type of directory, that is also considered infrastructure as a service. The client is going to manage those resources, run updates, as well as installations. Now, the next thing we've got is platform as a service. Platform as a service is sort of a middle ground. It's going to be where the cloud does physical security, network, maintains operating system, databases, development tools, and the client does the rest. Clients create the applications and do data mining, accounts, and identities, but the cloud provider is going to be responsible for the operating system, as well as the hosts and the physical network. This is what's referred to as a consumption model because you pay for what you use. Azure provides the databases and infrastructure that you're going to be able to use whenever you'd like. Then you have software as a service. Software as a service is going to be the most complete service for clients. The cloud does everything except identity, which is creating the users and giving them access through role-based access control. That's going to be shared by both parties because Azure is going to maintain the database, but you're going to add the users to it and give them the access. It is the most expensive option, but it's the least configured by the client. The client basically is mostly in charge of what type of software to rent. In this case, there's many different types in Microsoft 365, and the client also is in charge of who gets onto the system and what access they have. Here's an example of infrastructure as a service. So if I go into portal.azure.com and click on virtual machines, then you can see the virtual machine that I had previously created. If I click on that virtual machine, I can go ahead and make a lot of changes to it. I can make changes to who has access, but I can also connect to it. I can run all the updates. I can change the storage. Pretty much everything is going to be as the client's responsibility, with the exception of that physical security and the server itself, as well as providing a network connection. Now let's take a look at a software as a service option. I'm in the Microsoft 365 portal at admin.microsoft.com, and on the left-hand side, you can click on Show All. What this is going to do is show me all the different admin centers that I can manage for software as a service. For instance, I'll click on Exchange. So when I open up Exchange, this allows me to make a lot of changes into the Exchange admin center for each user. I decide what the usernames are, what the passwords are, all within Microsoft 365. I decide what licenses to add as well. However, once that's done, Microsoft is going to manage the mailboxes. It's going to manage the hosts that run the operating system as well as the Exchange application. But from here, I can make some other changes, such as admin roles. I can choose who's going to be an admin. I can also migrate users. I can create reports to tell me how things are going. And I can create other types of mailboxes, such as public folders, as well as room resources. So various different staff can go ahead and reserve rooms or resources like a television or a computer, things like that. All that's up to me, but Microsoft is going to manage it all. They're going to do all the updates to Exchange and to the Windows operating system on which it resides. That is software as a service. Now, I didn't show you platform as a service, but as far as the AZ-900 goes, keep in mind that databases are one of the biggest parts of using platform as a service. You bring in the application, but you store it on a database that Azure is then going to manage.